everyone, thanks for watching Axis Hockey MI, and I'm sure I know what you're thinking. Do they have any other t-shirts?
No.
They wear them every single week, and it's none of your business. So.
Yeah, seriously, stay out of my closet, weirdo.
Today, of course, the buzz is obviously going to be preseason. Red Wings preseason is in full swing. Yes,
this is how you swing
so much. It's in full swing right now. So at the time of this recording, they've played, I think, 3 games so far. So by the time we post this video, they're going to still have a week to go, and they would have played 2 more games in addition. So all the points that we say, the assists, it's all with the understanding that they're subject to change. They're just kind of like a benchmarker for what we're talking about. And you always hear us say points aren't everything. So we're going to talk a lot about play.
That's the point.
Play in general. So we're going to talk about 4 guys specifically, and then we're going to kind of run through goaltending and some other standouts, and of course the Rana injury. So let's just start with Joe Veleno. Why not? I mean,
I don't know if you guys know, but we really like this kid.
He's exciting.
He is exciting. So I'm sure you've heard in our last videos, and if you haven't watched our last one, we've time-stamped everything for your convenience.
Rachel time-stamped everything for your convenience.
It's weird listening to your own playback.
Yeah,
so you know.
So I don't do it. She does it.
So Joe Valeno has been one that we've been very fond of since he got drafted. In this preseason so far, he's proven to be a very effective forward. He's making the most of his time, I think, and making a very good case for a roster spot.
Indeed.
Excuse me. So we had peanuts before we came on here, just so you know.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, right. We should do one of those. But he's been making a really good case for himself to get a roster spot, and we've long thought, even when his rookie year in the AHL, we thought that he was playing far and away beyond the AHL. And so far, he's proving that. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist so far in 2 games played, not including the ones, of course, that are going to happen.
Yes.
And he's doing very well with his face-off percentage as well, which I know is something that a lot of people were concerned about when we traded Goaltending, who was one of our top face-off winners. So it's nice to see other guys having that kind of consistency as well to kind of fill that void, even though it is preseason.
And we saw him, one of the games that we've seen so far, he was in tandem with, but he was playing the same game as Dylan Larkin, is I guess how I should put this.
Yeah.
And Dylan Larkin is well known for being really good in the face-off. And so that's something that you might not often look at, but it's such an important thing because getting puck ownership, if you will.
Possession.
It's
a good one today, guys.
Getting puck possession right from the face-off is so important. It can make or break a whole play, first of all, and especially if you're in your zone and getting it into theirs. It's something that's, I think, not looked at as much, but Joe Veleno is showing improvement in that as far as I think that he's just getting more and more confident within the games that he does. So what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say in special team situations, too.
Yeah.
Face-offs are so critical, and I think that is something that is often overlooked, and I think you were the one that pointed it out to me 2 seasons ago when we were watching Turgeon and Pearson and all their face-offs, and it's one thing that I don't see from the Crow's Nest, so to actually kind of pay attention to it. It is very critical and very important. It's a great benchmark to watch people from.
And just a side note, one of the most annoying things is when you win a face-off and then somehow the other team still gets the puck from you because you it
was a clean face-off.
Yeah, it's one of those things because it's like, okay, did you really win that then? But I guess it depends on the possession afterward. But next we were going to talk about Lucas Raymond, which everyone's on the Raymond train, of course. Like we said in our last videos and videos prior, he's a very talented player and we're very excited for his growth. So we're going to talk a little bit about him as well. So he's also been on the power play. His average shifts that he's doing per game is around 20. Of course that changes. And that's just kind of like, again, a benchmark. So I like to look at that because I like to see kind of, okay, are they being put in a lot of situations? Is it going to be like they're in an actual like regular season game? Or is this kind of like, oh, he's playing 8 minutes and it kind of works with the average as well of like
kind of seeing the demand that's getting put on them.
Yeah, I like to see that because that's also with Valeno. I think they're both being trusted with about the same amount of minutes. Valeno has some more given or taken. That just depends on special teams and all that jazz. Yeah. And it's not,
there's again, a lot of factors.
Yeah, and it's not something that's make or break. It's just something I like to look at to see kind of the demand on them. But so far, since this video or before this video, 1 goal and 4 assists. So very exciting because he's a fantastic passer, and that's where the assists come from. Right? Because whenever he passes, I'm like, dang,
passes it to himself.
That was a really good pass. Yeah, and half the time when a goal happens, I'm like, hold that pass.
Yeah,
because that just happened in this
the
game.
thread the needle kind of passes are really fun.
Yeah, like it's amazing though. Because and whenever a guy scores, you always see him like pointing at the guy who passed it to him. usually.
Maybe that helps out the off-ice officials, too. So they're just
waiting
to see who touched it last.
Yeah.
But the thing with Raymond is, too, and again, we are not discrediting his ability. He is a phenomenal player. He does need a little development. It'd be really cool to see him on the opening roster.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful and be great for him, I think. But so far in this preseason, he's proven to be very trustworthy and very talented and living up to what the Wings expected of him. Now, it's very soon into the preseason. I'm going to be really excited to see how this plays out over the next week or two.
Yeah.
Going into the regular season, and if they start him up top, what that looks like.
But that's preseason, you know? The coach is trying to figure out lines, where you're trying to get the jitters out. You're trying to figure out your team who plays well together.
Trying to see how hard you can push each guy.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you start talking about Leddy, who is someone that we haven't really talked about too much because we had just gotten him, I think it was last season, this season.
The end of last season.
We got him. Here he is.
He's with us now.
Nick Leddy.
he was one that when we did get him, again, we didn't know too much about. He came from the New York Islanders. I mean, it's
we don't watch the Islanders.
The Islanders, guys.
So.
They have two teams. It's not fair.
New York has two teams.
Yeah, the Islanders don't have two teams. But Nick Leddy, he was one that I'm actually, and I think we're both pretty surprised by because we're actually, paying a little bit closer attention to. We're not superheroes.
And that's okay.
It is okay, guys. You can't know everything.
It's just like 99% of it. Hey.
But Nick Leddy so far has 3 assists in one game played. And
that was 3 assists in one game. He's played more than one game.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. In one game.
You better be sorry.
But he's proven to be a very reliable veteran defenseman, which is what he was brought in to do. And everyone's like, super excited. He's been paired with Suter a lot. But it's his whole purpose with the team is to be with those younger defensemen and help lead them kind of like Mark Stahl is going to be once the season gets
and it doesn't hurt. I mean, we're in a rebuild, of course. Right. So it does not hurt to have a very solid defenseman in Nick Leddy to be there to kind of rely on. So you can throw him out there in hard situations. He's been on power play.
I've been pleasantly surprised by him.
I have been too. And the thing I like about him is his subtle passes. He's very smart with the puck. I love passes. It can make or break so many things, just kind of like the face. I like the little details. You can see kind of where it starts, and that's why I just like to watch the passing.
She gets jazzed about passing.
I do. It's exciting. But anyways, Leddy, to me, and something I've noticed about all these guys we've talked about so far is the special team. Yeah. Which is something that the Red Wings definitely needed work on.
We have struggled for seasons.
And same with Griffins. The Griffins are always kind of up and down with special teams too. So if we can get some special team guys who actually capitalize on power plays, can kill off a penalty, that's super important. Of course. And I feel like I'm telling you things you know. That's fine.
In case you don't know.
But yeah, Nick Leddy's been a really good surprise, I think, to us. So I'm excited to see him kind of grow with the team.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can bring to the prospects as well, to the young kids, and what they can take from him, being that he is a vet. So the next one is one that we were all, I think the whole organization was shocked that we got. And I heard it pronounced Pius, not Pius. So Ken Cal says Pius.
I just heard the Pittsburgh guy say Pius too.
Okay, so it's Pius Suter.
We're just going to call him Suter.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
It's kind of Pius is, I don't know.
I'm
trying to think of things rhyming.
I mean, I have a weird name, so I guess I can.
That's true. It is weird. But he's had so far 3 assists in the preseason, which, it's not a ton of point production. Again, it's only a couple games. But he's been absolutely...
It's in the detail,
It is.
Guys.
He's been absolutely everywhere on the ice in every situation. And I think his kind of... He plays with a lot of tenacity, which is something I think the team has been lacking in seasons past. And that's something we've already said. They have a lot of energy, and there's a lot of excitement this season.
The reason he surprised us is because he was with Chicago last year, and he did well. Like, he had, I believe it was 30-plus points in 55 games played, and he shows it, and he plays like a pro. He plays like he belongs in the NHL. So
then you wonder, like, why did they unload him?
But then again, there's so much behind the scenes. Yeah. I'm just glad we did get him because he's been doing fantastic. He's been on the PK. He's been on the power play. He's been playing in tandem with Fabry, which...
Fabry's a fun one.
That's great.
Yeah, that's
you can play with anyone. Play with Fabry, I guess. So
that kid has no end.
We've just
doesn't stop.
We've just been so excited about these 4 guys in particular. But Suter was a surprise to me. Leddy was a surprise to me. I knew Valeno and Raymond were great. Right. So it's just been great to watch these new guys. And of course, that's preseason. That's prospects. We love it.
I feel like they're adapting with the team very well too. This team, even the preseason guys, they seem like they're really got a good chemistry going, which is something that if you don't have that going into the season, you're going to struggle for weeks trying to find that and work together. And I think I've been really excited to see how they team up like that.
Yeah, so we touched on it a little bit earlier. Jacob Rana, Jacob. Rana is injured, and he's expected to be out for about 4 months, which everyone is crazy up in arms about. Yes. But you know what? It happens.
His arm's not up.
And that stinks. You know what? It really does.
Yeah.
Because he is a veteran scorer. You can count on him in situations where you need goals, and that's what he was doing for us. And
I'm
to
sure
not
he's
have
more disappointed than we are.
Oh, sure. I believe that. Yes.
Finally gets back here and he can't play.
Yeah, but the thing is, and that happened pretty early too, so he wasn't even able to play that much.
Yeah.
But so we kind of expect, not that there isn't anyone waiting in the wings, if you will, to kind of take over the vet scoring, but we kind of think it is possible that we trade someone yet, not trade someone, but maybe picks for next year.
Yeah.
Maybe
we've got quite a few.
Maybe we work to get someone else who can be a vet scorer, because as I see it right now, he was filling that gap pretty nicely.
Yep.
And
he was intended to.
Yeah. So there's a gap there.
Yeah.
And we're not sure how that's going to be filled.
I mean, there's a chance that we could trade, but there's also the opportunity of maybe some of the younger guys getting tested out, depending on how they play out. And granted, they're not, veteran scorers, but it doesn't matter. If you're a veteran or a rookie, if you're scoring, then why not?
Yeah.
Put them in that situation and see how they handle it. So
yeah.
I think we do have a good amount of guys to pull from, but we do also have the option.
It's important not to go doomsday. Like, you think the coaches are up there going, oh no, now we're screwed. The whole rebuild just went to crap. It's just not, you can't go doomsday. You just have to figure out how to fill it, and the guys there are probably more than capable and more than wanting to fill that.
And I'm sure Rana too, he did just fine playing very few games last season, so who knows, he might come out
he'll come back and make up for it.
He'll get 30 points in like 10 games or something crazy.
Next we're going to quickly touch on goaltending, just because we love what we're seeing, of course. So we've got Bratstrom and Nedeljkovic that have been our two favorites, of course. And I think Nedeljkovic was another surprise. Like, how did we get Nedeljkovic? That's amazing. Thank you. But then Bratstrom is someone we hope to see in Grand Rapids probably, and we hope to see in the future with the Red Wings after some development.
Yeah, and he's been looking really good, really solid, and I think both of them have really good composure, and they don't get rattled. Not very different, but they have different styles. And I've been really happy with Bratstrom. We've been looking forward to him, so I think he'll probably be Grand Rapids, most likely, but I think that'll be nice to have in Grand Rapids, a really solid tandem between Calvin Pickard and Bratstrom.
Yeah, likely.
And just have some security back in the net, and that'll really help the team up front, I think. Embrace the development more.
And I think it's just fun to have a new goalie. It's been a while since we've had some new blood in there, so it's just exciting.
We've had a Swedish goalie in a while.
No, but Nedeljkovic is exciting to me just because it's, I don't know, I think it's when you get someone new on a team, I feel like it can kind of jumpstart you, especially if it's a goalie.
Standing on one of those balance balls.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Give him a raise. That's awesome. Let's go save some pucks and
throw some tennis balls at him. He'll do really well.
And then some notable mentions just to cap everything off. We're really into Stetcher, Smith, Berggren, and Condon. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of into the whole team. So it's just been
into this.
It's just been really fun. And we've been doing well in preseason. And again, it's not to say that regular season will look like this. It'll probably look much different, of course, when we get all the usual guys up there and all the other teams have their usual guys. But if anything, this should just be a cause for excitement.
You're right.
Because we're seeing a lot of good prospect development in front of your eyes.
And it still will take some time. And that's one thing, too, I'm sure we have to kind of pump the brakes on, because it's easy to get really, really excited.
Nah, you can just be excited.
Well, get excited, and then, let me say the fan base, go full throttle, and then when something like the Rana thing happens, it's like, well,
doomsday.
Let's nuke it, and then we're all doomed. That's it. We're never going to be a team again. We're getting kicked out of the NHL. It just goes downhill from there.
Batman would love that, I'm sure.
Seriously.
She goes quiet.
But I think it's really important to be excited, because the guys do see this back in Grand Rapids when they come back, whoever comes back. When they come back, to have that kind of excitement and anticipation, they need to know that we're behind them.
Sure.
That gives them the motivation. But also, don't crucify them if something goes wrong.
Yeah. And just look at those details. I mean, if anything, it's just going to make you love the game more, I think. It makes me love the game more. I don't think we're crazy.
No.
That crazy. But, so basically, that's kind of like our preseason so far. Like I said, there's still going to be, at the time of this video, another week of preseason, and then we're going to get into the season starting for Grand Rapids and for the Red Wings and for the USHL.
So excited.
It's going to be insane. So, let us know in the comments who's been impressing you so far, and if we missed anybody, or if you disagree with us, let us know.
We'd love to hear. Roster.
Yeah, you just like them all. That'd be great. Yeah. Or who do you think's dead weight? Do you think anyone is?
Good.
That would be an interesting thing to hear. So let us know.
I thought we got rid of that, but I'd be interested to see.
What could she mean?
Oh, no.
But anyway, let us know in the comments what you think, and we appreciate so much you watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. We're not forcing you. Do it. We will see you guys next time.